Okay, how's it going, everybody? I hope you're all doing well. Okay, well, so in this episode, I thought I'd try to say something about Dostoevsky and his masterpiece, The Brothers Karamazov. In particular, I want to try to talk a bit about one of the most iconic, but to my mind, one of the most chilling characters in all of literature, namely Ivan Karamazov. I think that there's a lot we can learn from Ivan, especially when it comes to the theme of love. And here I'm indebted in part to commentator Chichovaki. Okay, well, so a central motif in this novel is clearly pride. And it's through Ivan's failed character that Dostoevsky reveals to us the dangers of pride and how it is the prideful person is ultimately incapable of ever really loving others. You see, I think it's safe to say that Ivan is a Promethean figure full of titanic pride. He's somebody who totally makes himself and someone who considers himself entirely self-sufficient. But there's something chilling in thinking that there's nothing that we lack that we cannot provide for ourselves, and that we are entirely self-sufficient beings and the cause of our own existence. Why is this sort of pride chilling? Well, because if we see ourselves this way, the more that we will be utterly incapable of receiving anything, including others. When our pride manifests itself not only as a lack of humility, but as total self-reliance, it means closing ourselves off from others. Well, this is Ivan. In his pride, he's hard and he's shut in. He's alienated himself from all others. He's an eagle that lives high above the messy clouds. And actually, this is why his father says of him, Ivan loves nobody, Ivan is not one of us. And it's why his brother, Dmitri, says, Ivan is a grave. Okay, well, I think this is a good time to talk more specifically about the theme of love. You see, because I don't think it's a surprise to find out that in his pride, Ivan fails to understand what genuine love is. But before I get to Ivan, let me first quickly say something about the views of another major character in the novel, Father Zosima. Because actually, I think that what he's made to say in the story ultimately represents Dostoevsky's own vision. Okay, so what are these views? Well, what Father Zosima does is he counsels an active and persistent and an up-close personal love. For him, genuine love is not about loving human beings in general, or as a group, or in the abstract. No, his approach is a more earthy, organic, and authentic one. He's all about loving individuals, our neighbors, those that are closest to us. It's a bottom-to-top approach. And it's about accepting individuals for who they really are, with all of their flaws. It's Christ's love, a non-judgmental love, a love of man also in his sin, a love like that of St. Francis of Assisi that's willing to kiss open sores. And it's one that involves hard work and continuous and anonymous small moments of giving. It has nothing to do with the look at me public gesture. Now, obviously, Zosima's way to love is much more challenging than loving from a distance, right? That's to say, loving from a distance is easier since from way up above, we can't really focus in on what we're seeing. But close up, we see individuals for who they really are, with all of their messy particularities and their frailties and their flaws. Well, okay, so suffice it to say, Father Zosima's view is not Ivan's. No, Ivan's approach to love is the very opposite of that. His approach is an intellectual or philosophical one. One where he's a detached observer, loving from a distance. He can't love close up. In fact, he says it himself. He says, "I could never understand how one can love one's neighbors. It's just one's neighbors, to my mind, that one can't love. For anyone to love a man, that man must be hidden. For as soon as he shows his face, love is gone." Wow. Okay, well, so why does he think this? Why can't he love close up, so to speak? Actually, why can't he even sit comfortably at the table with his own brothers? Well, I think it has something to do with the fact that he's divorced himself from his earthy animal side, which he sees as beastly and repulsive. And instead, he has associated himself entirely with the pure and the saintly and the ideal. But here's the thing. When you divorce yourself from your bestial self like this, you of course begin to see yourself as better than others. Compared to you, everyone else is completely imperfect and even gross. So now, not only can you not connect with others, of course, and accept them for who they are, but they don't like you either because you give them the sense that you are above or superior to them. So, in effect then, by repressing his body and his earthy, sensual side, Ivan has cut himself off from genuine personal love and compassion, from love of one's neighbor in their full reality. You know, according to St. Augustine, God has given us a proper place in the great scheme of things midway between the angels and the beasts. And any attempt to deny our creatureliness and assume the status of an angel will, at the end of the day, leave us no better than the beasts. Well, here's the thing. This is Ivan's situation. He is no better than that which he tried to avoid. Now, on the other hand, the sort of love that Father Zosima counsels is deeply rooted to the earth. It involves fidelity to the soil, to the dirt. Kiss the earth and love it with an unceasing, consuming love, he shouts out. In effect, Zosima holds the deeper wisdom that genuine compassion and love for others is only possible if one accepts one's own primal and earthly humanity and does not try to rise above what one sees as undignified tendencies not worthy of acceptance. Okay, but ultimately for Father Zosima, the most important problem, the most serious obstacle to love is to be found in the sickness of modernity. That is, in our modern, radical individualism and egocentrism and materialism. In other words, the problem with many people, again, including Ivan, is that they are egotistic in orientation. They are separated by their greed. They think that freedom and self-realization and security is rooted in their richness and in their independence from their fellow men and women. They think that self-denial is a form of self-betrayal. But in this way, says Father Zosima, they fail to understand that genuine love actually requires the negation of selfhood, and that security is to be found in social solidarity, not in self-determination and separation. Modernity does not understand that self-reliance cuts us off from the sources of fulfillment. Modernity does not understand that genuine love begins with self-abnegation and surrender. Bye for now.